What's up, guys? It's Connor with TGN.TV here, and today I'm going to be doing my guide on 1 to 525 engineering. Now, before we get started here, I just want to say this is not a full in-depth guide of step-by-step what you need to build, what materials you need, and stuff like that, but there's going to be a link going across the screen right now, as well as it will be in the description box, or the description box below, so you guys can see every step that you need to do to get through it. I didn't want to do a step-by-step because that would take like 3 hours, and I'd have to make it parts of videos, and it'd just be too complicated. So I thought I'd go ahead and just compile like 60 minutes of footage and then speed it up like 8 times, and then it only ends up being like 6 minutes of footage, so it works out pretty well. So let's go into the video now. So that link that's in the description, basically I just followed that step by step, and actually what I did wrong with the whole thing was the list of materials in the beginning I didn't buy right then. I actually kind of just waited and bought them as I needed them, which made it kind of tough for me because I couldn't farm for the most cheap price if I wanted to rush through this like I did. I actually had to go and buy it for the most expensive price, or had to try to get someone in guild right away, and it kind of made it tough. It's a lot easier if you just wait and get all the materials that you need. So it may feel cheap actually doing engineering in the beginning because you're just buying like stones and stuff, and that's not very much money, maybe like 1k just to get it up to like 100, but then it gets really expensive once you get to level like 300-ish. It starts to get like you need elementium, or you need like hardened elementium, and those are like 200 gold on my server each, and you need like 8. So it's definitely quite an expensive thing to level. I would say anywhere between 7 and 14k depending on your server and how you get the materials. For me, it costs probably 8 or 9, and I could have made it a lot cheaper if I would have got them in the beginning. So that's definitely my biggest recommendation. So the guide that I found, and that's in the description, is also the best guide that I found, and I've read some reviews and whatnot of guides, and that seems to be the very best. So definitely, I cannot stress it enough. Follow that guide and get the thing, get all the materials that are listed in the beginning. I know I've said that like 3 times, but it's definitely the most important thing. Another thing you'll need is some add-ons. Definitely get some kind of mailbox opening add-on where it mass opens all of your mail. That's definitely important. You definitely need that because it's really annoying to go buy 322. I think that's how many like I think it's elementium maybe that you need. I don't know. It's one of them that's like you need 322 of them, which is at like 1,000,000 stacks, and you don't want to sit there and open every single one. And if you buy them cheap and it's like in a set of 5 or 1 or something like that, you don't want to sit there and open each one. So if you if you get an add-on where it like adds an open all button, that definitely helps because it just opens all of them, and it only takes like 3 seconds. So that's definitely helpful. Another thing that you'll need is like some kind of, well, you don't really need this, but it kind of helped me out quite a bit, where some kind of add-on in auction house, which you can see right now, where it posts that percent on the right side of, like if it's 100%, it'd be like the normal price, or if it's like 60%, that means it's really cheap. It's almost half of its normal price. Or if it's like 200%, you know it's way overpriced. Kind of just tells you how much, how level it is, like how much it normally costs compared to how much it's costing right now, like the materials individually. And you can see here I'm actually just talking to someone in the chat and trying to get some mats, and you can see here I'm like, oh, it's fun making you rich, just because I gave that guy, one guy, like 5 or 6 or 7k just by himself getting mats when I needed them, which really made it kind of easy that I had one person I could go to, but it still ended up costing me tons of money. He gave it to me for a little bit under the auction house price, but that's pretty much all I could get. So what you're seeing right now is kind of later on, and you can see all the different things you need are expensive. Like you need a bunch of copper bolts, but to build copper bolts you need like 3 different types of materials, and then you have like some tube right there, so you need like 3 different types of material to build that. So it gets really confusing if you don't get all the materials in the beginning. It just really confusing. So you can see here, just going back to the auction house, getting a lot more of the mats, and really I thought in the beginning it cost like 4 or 5k, and it didn't. It cost a ton. Like I had to go on 3 different of my skinning runs, which I have a guide up for that up already. If you guys want to check that out, I'll have that link in the description too. But that guide for skinning is definitely helpful. That got me a ton of gold. Also for skinning over in the what's it called, Tolbarad, that's definitely helpful too. Yeah, so it definitely costs a lot of money. Whatever profession you have, you better make sure it makes a lot of money because you need a ton of money. So make sure you're like mining profession or skinning or something that makes a lot of money, because you just run through money on this. So overall, I would rank this a pretty easy one to level. It's definitely probably the easiest professional level because it's not really grinding like it is for skinning. If you started off, you have to go and grind all the low level areas and then move up to the higher level areas, and it takes like a few hours. For this, it takes like an hour and a half if you already have the mats. It just takes the time to click create, and that takes like 10 seconds to 30 seconds, depending on what you're building. Something takes like a minute and a half for like if you're building a gun or something like that. But yeah. Also, I'd rank it pretty easy just because of all of that. But also, it's probably the most expensive. Like I've said a million times, it's the most expensive profession to level, because you can't actually have one profession. Like if you were doing leather working or leather, yeah, I think it's leather working. You wouldn't actually. It would be hard if you were like mining and leather working. But if you had skinning, really easy. And that was my little speed noise. I don't know what that was. That was kind of my, well, it's easy noise. So, yeah, here I'm at 510, which is pretty good. I'm almost there. I'm really psyched because I really want those goggles. Plus, I want the little speed boots that Ruakan has. Those are kind of fun. That's kind of why I started doing engineering, because I really wanted those speed boots so I could mess with rogues and stuff and then blow up and all that fun stuff. And here you can see I'm almost there, and I actually had to cut a few times here because I didn't have enough money to buy the match. And you can see my money is at like 300 right now, and I'm like, I'll just buy all this stuff. And it was really cheap, actually. It was like 29% of its normal price, which is ridiculous. So I bought like all of them. And then I hit open all, which you can see right there, and it just zips right through them, which is awesome. So definitely the ending is the most expensive, costing a ton of money. And you can see here, I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so back to this. Another thing that's really frustrating is the volatile earths and airs and waters and whatnot. Those took a long time to get because they weren't in my auction house, and I don't know how they are for your server, but for my server, since it's a lower populated one, it's definitely way tougher. So anyways, I just hit 525 engineering, which was really happy. I'm jumping around like crazy. That's pretty much all this footage was me jumping around, and some fireworks at the end like you guys just saw. So I hope you enjoyed my little guide, and like I said, if you want to do this, the link is going to be in the description for the guide that you need to follow. Definitely the best guide out there right now that I have seen. So yeah, leave some comments in the comment section below. Do you like this kind of video? Because I know a lot of people like the little change in progress for TGN World of Warcraft, where a lot of it's like killing PvP and whatnot, and this is kind of just more of a guide and how-to. So I can definitely do more how-tos and things like that alongside my PvP, depending on what you guys want. So leave those comments in the comment section below. I do read all of them. Make sure you thumb up this video if you enjoyed it, and even if you don't enjoy it, please thumb it up, because thumbing up definitely helps out TGN. And until my next video, peace.